Hailing from Islin, New Jersey, our next Ignite speaker is a senior at RU, majoring in public health. Discussing the two-way street, let's hear it for Nikita Patel.
Growing up, I was always told to listen to my parents, listen to my coaches, my teachers, my peers, basically everyone. Whether it was in a classroom setting or being lectured by my parents, I always felt like I blamed my attention span for never really feeling engaged in a conversation. Communication is said to be a two-way street, but in my life it only felt one way. I only spoke when spoken to, and by the chance that I did get a word in, I never really felt like people were listening to what I had to say. And I felt like this all the way up until college. My sophomore year, I went on a community service trip to Washington, D.C., and we worked with a nonprofit organization called Street Sense. Street Sense offers economic opportunities to the homeless by selling and fundraising money with these newspapers. There, I was blessed to meet a homeless man named El Moro, who we got partnered with, and he basically gave us a tour of what a normal day in his life was. He allowed us to see what he dealt with on a daily basis as he passed millions of strangers in New York City every day. I mean, in Washington, D.C. every day, sorry. And even though we only spent a few hours with El Moro, I basically felt like I knew him from that point on. As he took us to the streets of D.C. where he would sell this newspaper around DuPont Circle every day, I was really excited to help him sell these newspapers because I knew that whatever I sold, he was going to make that money, and also I'm very competitive, so it definitely helped me in that sense. And repetitiously asking passers to buy a newspaper or give a donation was almost as exhausting as an 8-hour workday. And we were only there for 2 to 3 hours. It was really surprising. So I was kind of shocked with the way people were acting, and kind of took me back to my childhood where no one was once again listening. People would pass by and completely ignore us. People would pass by and give us dirty looks, and unfortunately sometimes say some nasty things. But it made me angry that offering a smile was just so difficult for people sometimes, and it made me angry that just saying no thank you was just a thought that didn't come to people's minds. And though we were only there for 3 hours, I realized that El Moro dealt with this 365 days a year, and he redefined what communication meant in his life. When El Moro spoke to a room full of people, he made each individual feel like they were the most important person in that room. So when he asked something as simple as, "How are you?" it made you feel simply good on the inside. As every day he sold newspapers, he made sure to tell people that if you don't have money, just give me a smile. And it kind of made us all think about what communication meant. As I came back from my trip, I wanted to further explore what communication meant in my life. And communication's ability to connect with someone mentally, verbally, and physically, but I realized that we underestimate the power of a smile, the power of a facial expression. And I redefine facial expression as the image of our mind, and that people can read your thoughts and feelings right through them. From that, as I explored what communication meant in my personal life, I realized where I was most proactive is where I was most present. And this meant where I felt the most emotion, raw, genuine connections was where I better engaged with others. And this started with understanding that in order to receive good communication from others, I had to offer it first. Truly listening what people had to say in their happiest times and their saddest times, when moments where you don't expect them to feel where you don't feel what they are feeling, you just listen to the little details and something will resonate. So how did I do this? It started with looking people in the eyes when they spoke to you. Eye connection is kind of looked at as a creepy thing these days. People think that when you look someone in the eye, you're kind of staring at them, and the perception is I'm trying to change the perception back to that eye contact allows us to feel better engaged with others. Offering a smile or nodding allows them to understand that you appreciate what they have to say, and then leaning in and giving good body language, open body language, allows them to just simply feel good on the inside that you are listening. But if all of this just seems too overwhelming and you can't think of what to do, asking someone how their day went can simply make the difference. Asking someone what went on in their day that was important to them can make the difference. El Moro may not have had all the money in the world, But through his drive and motivation to make human interaction the most important thing in his life, he was the richest man alive. And he allowed my one-way street to become two ways. So keep this in mind. People may not remember what you say, but they'll remember how you made them feel. Thank you.